Levi Ballard. See how much more wheel input he has to put into that 87 car? See if that bites him eventually. As we take a look a little bit farther back, McBride at the end of that train, so that's third, fourth, and fifth. Fourth and fifth now on your screen, as Lyons was able to take that over, or Coleman, excuse me, took over fourth over McBride. And then here comes Jace Myers in sixth.
Loose there is the 17C of Willow Coleman going to surrender the fourth spot to McBride. There's Jace Myers on the screen in sixth. Trying to crack the top five here. Levi Ballard in the 87 has extended his lead, backed out a little bit to nearly a full second as Myers looks to the inside of Coleman, and Jace Myers into the top five brings the 45X of Weldon Baker with him into sixth. Baker by Coleman, has lost a couple spots here. White flag in the air one more time around, and Levi Ballard, the young man from Grimes, Iowa, started on the pole, leads every lap and wins race 124. McKenna Kryn 2-2. Lyons, McBride, Myers, Baker, Coleman, Sanders, the unofficial finish for that junior sprint heat race. They'll head up the ramp. We'll head up the ramp as well to Brian Ward.
Thank you, Connor. I got Landon Miner, another shootout rookie, getting his heat race win. First time out there on the racetrack. Tell me how the car felt out there.
Felt pretty loose, but it was a good car.
You came all the way from sixth and passed a bunch of guys. How did that feel?
Felt pretty good.
You guys heard it. He said it felt pretty good.
Sure does. Loose is fast. Right, Clinton?
That's
Sometimes.
right.
Well, he made it happen. Congratulations to Mr. Miner as the next group is out on the racetrack. This is going to be our fifth Flying A Motorsport Junior Sprint Heat Race. Maverick Reed, your pole sitter in the 36M. Mason Truitt to the outside. Ryan Cannon, Jackson Peters. Row 3, Kaiser Kramer and Lee Moses. Your final row, Bladen Graham and Carson Utz.
Clinton, what do you think so far?
So far, so good.
Yeah, junior sprint heats in the books.
About what you would expect. Get these guys kind of lined out and get them all going.
Maverick Reed, correct me if I'm wrong, Kevin's son, right?
Yes. Yep, Kevin's youngest son.
One of the Dragonfly Aviation cars. They've got a couple cars in the non-wing divisions, Jake Newman, Kyle Jones, Chris Carroll, and I believe a midget or two in their stable as well. And well, that's, as Clinton said, Kevin Reed's youngest son, Maverick, on the pole of this one. Well, we'll try to get it going. Trying to get it going.
If I'm not mistaken, didn't we use a four-wheeler last year to get them started?
I don't know if we did on initial starts.
Okay. Well,
I wasn't going to say anything because we hadn't had any yellows yet, and it was working.
Kind of depends on the race, I think. Mason Truitt off the outside of the front row. Actually, no, Jackson Peters from the outside of the second row. Man, he was so far out ahead, I didn't see him. Over a second of a lead, already one lap into the thing.
Well, he's not messing around. They were kind of jockeying for position there on the start, and he just said, see you later. I got places to be.
Peters in 26P, making the trip down to Tulsa from Waupun, Wisconsin.
That 9 car right there, Bladen Graham, made a couple of moves on the inside berm the last time around. Started deep in this field in the 7th spot, and he's now up to 4th, looking for 3rd on Moses as they're side by side down the back straightaway into turn 3, and he'll take the position.
Bladen Graham, we've seen Bladen and Brody Graham both in action at the shootout, not only this year, but over the years. And Bladen has gone 7-3, a nice chunk of passing points here in the junior sprint division. It's about as good as your junior sprint week can start. 3 to go for the 26P of Jackson Peters.
Near 2.5 second lead for Jackson.
Man, keeps growing.
And yeah, he's not done as he comes down to 2 laps to go. At this point, he's probably just on cruise control. Doesn't know how much of a lead he probably has. Oh, got a little loose there as we continue to jockey for position. Ooh. There's the 110 of Kaiser Kramer, put it all 4 up on the berm.
He was going all out trying to get to 3rd.
Oh, excuse me, coming through, the 35U of Carson Utz.
Little bit of contact there, maybe.
I'll give a lot of these youngsters credit. They're not scared to put a car in a tight spot as the checkered flag is waving for Jackson Peters. Dominate effort here this afternoon and this evening in the junior sprints. Bladen Graham 7-2. Mason Truitt, Kaiser Kramer, and Carson, that's your top 5. Moses Cannon and Reed round out your field. Let's go up top. Chris Moore is ready with another Flying A Motorsport Junior interview.
Yeah, guys, I have Levi Ballard here. He's not just a Tulsa Shootout rookie. This was his first ever race in a junior sprint. Levi, how much fun did you have?
It was really fun.
How cool was it, too, to be out on the racetrack here where the Chili Bowl gets run and all these really awesome race car drivers race?
Really, really cool.
Hey, do me one thing. Show everybody your hair. Look at that, guys. A sweet mohawk. Beef Sticks is his nickname. I love this kid. He's taking the driller home.
Beef Sticks. All right. I tell you what, a lot of these kids have pretty cool hairstyles. I don't know if I could pull any of them off, but they sure can.
He's not a box stock kid from Millbridge, is he?
No.
Okay.
Eli Holden on the pole of this one in the 5E. More on him in a sec. Hudson Andrews, Blaney Woods, Maxon Roush, Cameron Utz, Bristol Spicola, Briggs Davis, Wyatt Yore. Eli Holden, the pole setter, is from my area, Southern Illinois. This kid has set the junior sprint world on fire in the state of Illinois last couple of years. I think well over maybe 25 or 30 junior sprint wins. Have to go add them up, but SIR, Wayne County, DuQuoin indoors dominates the junior sprint level in Illinois and has had some pretty good runs here at the shootout as well. 2 years ago, I think he was a front runner in the feature. One car stop there. That is the 9B of Bristol Spicola, scheduled to start 6th.
Thank you, Terry, for the assist.
There you go, Terry. Finally getting to work. Leaves us with 7 cars for this 8-lap junior sprint heat. Believe we'll go to 147 tonight. This is 126. So 147 or somewhere in that area.
Not bad. Just after 8 p.m. local time. Those on the East Coast
today, so.
Having your dessert with us before you go to bed. Well, don't go to bed. You got to stay up with us the rest of the way, and then you can go to bed. Green flag is out. And quickly to the point goes Eli Holden in the 5E. Hudson Andrews out of Brownsburg, Indiana, not too far from where I grew up. Let's take a look already. Battles in the back of the field. 5th position, Briggs Davis able to get by Blaney Woods. Now that's for 4th. So move Briggs up a spot.
Eli Holden, the leader, was 2nd in the junior sprint portion of the 2022 Tulsa Shootout. Still very young. I think might even have another year of eligibility in the junior sprint division after this year. And he has a good lead.
Yeah, he's by far the fastest car that we've seen so far, turning laps in the 13.1s. Everyone else has been 13.3s and up. So Eli Holden with about 2/10 over the field, and even Hudson Andrews in 2nd. He's super quick on the stopwatch. So
best lap of 13.104 for Holden. His last was a 13.128. There's Maxon Roush in the 17M doing a very nice job holding off the 96 of Briggs Davis as they continue to run nose to tail.
Yeah, Maxon was an A main starter last year, so trying to replicate that feat in 2024's edition. As you take a look at Eli Holden just on cruise control. Good looking race car for Eli. As he comes around, we'll see the white flag from Terry Maddox. Maxon Roush, though, not done defending off Briggs Davis.
Thought maybe the inside lane was going to open. Roush slammed the door. Checkered flag for Holden. Hudson Andrews is going to be 2nd, and Maxon Roush does a very nice job to hang on to 3rd. Davis, Woods, Utz, Yore unofficially, and then Bristol Spicola was the D in S. We'll hear from Eli Holden in a couple of moments as he'll head up the ramp. We'll go to Brian Ward.
Thank you, Connor. I've got your last heat race winner, Jackson Peters, a Wisconsin driver. Tell me how that racetrack's feeling out there.
Yeah, it feels really good. Driving fast for all the hot moms out there. And I want to thank my big guys and whoever, and all the names on my car and whoever helps on it.
I think you just became best friends with Connor Wade. A lot of these drivers have stayed up front and won from the front row. You're one of the few that has come from a few rows back Tell me what it took to pass those cars and get up to the front spot.
I mean, I know I had to get past them right away and get off the gun right away.
Well, you did a good job tonight. Congratulations on your win.
Thank you.
Jackson Peters.
Well, I think gained a few fans out there with that lovely interview.
Moving on to Heat 127.
Connor's ready to keep going.
Yeah, what do you mean by that, Connor?
Yeah.
Are you a fan of box stock moms, junior sprint moms?
I'm a fan of Landon Snyder, Ryan Uli, Mason Vincent, Jesse Bell, Caden Wells, Paxton Perry, Grayson Henry, and Heath Walton. Those are the cars in this race. 8 laps to go. Big Clinton Boyles fan.
Cool.
I need a shirt, by the way. I still don't have one.
I got a couple. I'll have them at Chili Bowl.
Perfect. Green flag in the air, and we got a yellow. Ryan Uli and Parker Perry got tangled up there. It was pretty much the first 3 cars in the outside row. I think Uli, Bell, and Perry were all kind of playing bumper cars there, and Perry is the one that gets the worst of it and goes around.
Has the GoPro shot atop the cage, and he'll tag the tail of the field. We'll get a complete restart coming up as we approach the halfway point through our Flying A Motorsport Junior Sprints. Again, thanks to everybody tuning in on Flow. Anybody out there been with us since we dropped the green flag on this broadcast some, almost 12 hours ago? Let us know on Twitter. Tag Flow Racing. I'm Chris Muller 26, Clinton Boyles, Connor Wade.
Red flag on the racetrack. They're going to give the officials a couple of minutes to get the junior sprints in the correct order. So with that being said, we'll check in with Chris Moore.
Yeah, guys, we have our most recent junior sprint winner, Eli Holden, here. Eli, you've done this before. Clinton said in the booth that you were the fastest junior sprint we've seen so far. Did the car feel really good?
The car felt great. I mean, it was a little tight getting in the corner, but other than that, it was good. We'll go back, make some changes for tomorrow. I would like to thank all my sponsors, Engler Machine Tools, Digmore Excavating, Dr. Rachel Harvey, and Transport, Independence Contracting, Midwest Laser Works, Ambrose Construction, Mountain Papal Sugar Lumps, Mountain Papal, that's here, and Mountain Papal Sugar Lumps is here too. My cousin and my aunt, they came out yesterday, and they watched me race today. So this race is dedicated to my my teacher that sadly passed away of cancer a few days ago. So hopefully this will get me a good starting position for the qualifier tomorrow.
Go get a driller for your teacher, buddy. Good job.
Thank you.
There you go, Eli Holden, picking up a heat race win. Fun to see some of these kids that are a little bit polished, guys.
Wow, that's awesome. Really cool for Eli to honor his teacher like that, and certainly I'm sure she's smiling down as he continues his shootout run. All right, we've got the cars fired back up here in the correct lineup order, so Landon Snyder and Ryan Uli will get back after it.
Parker Perry does stay on the racetrack. I see 7 out there. We were scheduled originally with 8.
We'll check it across the timing and scoring line. We do know that that Landon Snyder car will be your leader. Now moving to that second spot too via Mason Vincent with 5 of Caden Wells. So
Ryan Uli, the 3R, the one car
Yes.
that is seeming to be out of the race. Not sure if they came on originally or not. But Landon Snyder's the leader. We know that 2 laps in.
a 5 machine of Caden Wells, if you recall that livery on it, looked a lot like Jerry Coons Jr.'s A-class car, running out of the same stable.
Mason Vincent right there made a nice move on Snyder with Wells right behind them, and Vincent got the lead and drove away almost to a full second already. There's a look at Wells in that 5 car, as you mentioned. And Snyder, after leading the first lap, has dropped back to 3rd. We're halfway through race 127, 4 down, 4 to go. It's Mason Vincent, Caden Wells, Landon Snyder, Jesse Bell, Paxton Perry, Grayson Henry, Heath Walton, Ryan Uli.
Jesse Bell, Paxton Perry there on your screen. As you look back up toward the front of the field, there is Vincent with a healthy lead over Wells. Probably wondering what happened to Landon Snyder. Missed a couple of corners there and allowed those 2 to get away. As some more jockeying for position here, the 22H, Grayson Henry in that 6th position, trying to fend off Heath Walton. Walton, though, to the inside. He will get around, or Paxton Perry, excuse me, will get around Grayson Henry. So Perry up to the 5th position. Walton to 6th. Grayson Henry going the wrong way back to 7th. So 5th, 6th, and 7th on your screen. No change at the front of the field. Your fastest car on the racetrack is your race winner, Mason Vincent, by 1.4 seconds over Caden Wells, Landon Snyder, Jesse Bell, Paxton Perry, your top 5. So heat race number 7 in the books as we go once again to the Joe's Racing Products ramp cam. And we'll move right along to our next junior sprint heat race. Tatum Kreigel is going to be your pole sitter for heat race number 8. Maya Malden in the 55X to the outside. Grayson Cooksey and Colin Pruitt will share row number 2. Starting in the 5th spot, that's Braylon Morris, and Kendall Leal will start 6th. 7th and 8th starters, Bryson Roush and William Davis. That's how they'll go.
Maya Malden on the outside of the front row. Her brother Lucas had a very nice couple years in the junior sprint division here at the shootout. Swept the driller 2021 and 2022. And Maya had a good year on the West Coast herself, a trio of wins out in California. We're green and already some shuffling, and the yellow is going to come out as a result of that.
I think we're going to call a jump start on 9C of Grayson Cooksey.
So Cooksey out of Thompsonville, Illinois, going to get called. At least we think. We'll see what ends up happening. And he pulls down to the inside.
Yeah, our front row is still the same. Grayson, honestly, I felt like just had a really smart start, keeping it low down the front stretch there.
So we'll try it again, same front row as Kreigel and Malden.
A little cleaner this time.
Everybody lockstep together side by side in the first 2 rows. Malden will surrender the 2nd position, at least briefly, as inside goes Cooksey from 3rd to 1st. Good move to the inside, bringing with them the 15 of Bryson Morris.
Yeah, Braylon Morris looking really good, moving up to 2nd already. Bryson Roush in the 17B is in the field. We saw his brother Maxon out earlier. Hang on, have a nice 3rd place finish in his heat race. Bryson trying to move forward. There's your top 3, kind of breaking away from everybody else here. Grayson Cooksey, Braylon Morris, Colin Pruitt. Morris was on the back bumper of Cooksey there in 3 and 4. Show you the double box battle for the lead up front on the left side of your screen. 4 cars going at it, and Bryson Roush is going to get the best of all of that. That's for the 4th spot. That's on the right side of your screen. Roush has gotten by Tatum Kreidel, who's 3 wide with William Davis and Maya Malden. And Malden's going to slide in front of both of them. Davis catches the berm right there. And the top 3 still run nose to tail. So we focus on them. Cooksey, a nice drive in 1 and 2 that time.
Pruitt's just waiting in the wings here because I feel like if they can keep pace with Cooksey, if Morris pulls the trigger, although Morris missed the corner, so here comes Pruitt for 2nd, down into turn number 1 and 2, and he's got the spot.
Morris maybe a little free there, sliding around, surrenders P2 to Pruitt, who's going to have 1 lap to try and make up about 3.5 car lengths on Jace Cooksey. The race leader got the lead on the initial start. They called it back. He had to do it again, and, well, he got the lead that time, too, and he'll cruise to a win in race 128. Jace Cooksey, I should say Grayson Cooksey, wins in the 9C.
There was a few more laps. Colin Pruitt was one of the fastest consistently there at the end, but he'll settle for 2nd. So Cooksey wins it over Pruitt, Morris, Roush, Malden, Davis, Kreigel, and Leal. So we chalk up another Flying A Motorsports Junior Sprint heat race. And with that, we'll go back up to the top of the ramp at another CSI heat race interview with Brian Ward.
Thank you, Chris. Mason Vincent from Springfield, Illinois goes 3-1 in his heat race. You were flying and you were celebrating a lot when you got up top. Tell me about that run.
Well, I've never won a race, so it's pretty important. And it was very hard to steer the car, and those very rough corners.
Well, you were not only looking good on the racetrack, but you are looking good in this suit. We're pretty dapper with the bow tie there.
Thank you.
Mason Vincent, heat race winner.
The suit says, I like to be formal, but I like to party as well. I like that. Heat race number 9 out on the racetrack for our Flying A Motorsports Junior Sprints. Lights are out, coming to green. Brody Caldwell, Ulysses, Kansas. Gage Pio to Kunkletown, Pennsylvania, your front row. Hudson Little, Dalton Carey, row 2. Logan Banks and JT Daniel, row 3. Quentin Hagopian and Caden Graham make up your 8 starters. Hagopian, of course, younger son to Jake, who is in final shootout and final weekend behind the wheel of a micro. We're green. And the 5G of Pio just set sail in his Hyper Junior Sprint.
Have a camera somewhere, find Jake Hagopian in the building. I'm sure he's at the bottom of the ramp watching his son, because he takes it very, very seriously. And
oh, we got 2 together as the field splits them. The 23 of Hudson Little involved, as well as the 57 of Caden Graham. And boy, that could have been disaster, because Hagopian and some of the drivers there at the rear of the field came blistering by, but everybody manages to escape unharmed.
Nice job avoiding it by a couple of those guys driving by on the backstretch.
It looked like on the 57, a for sale sign on Caden Graham's car. Isn't that bad luck?
I think that's what Caleb Hart says. iBot Springs replay coming up. And yep, there's the 57 and the 23 getting hooked together. Junior Sprint heat races, sorry, Glenn, have been mostly clean to this point. So you know, a little buff every now and then.
So now we're screwed.
Yep. Well, there's Jake.
Josh Castro standing to his left.
Yeah.
That's Justin Posey.
He'll probably be
behind
getting some text
Castro.
messages as well saying, oh, they're talking about you, putting you on TV.
Jake loves watching Quentin. It's part of the reason that Jake is stepping away from racing after the Tulsa Shootout, is to help focus on Quentin's career and, of course, focus on driven performance. But Jake Hagopian takes a lot of pride in Quentin being out there on the racetrack. Quentin will restart in the 5th position in that 14Q.
Lights are out, coming back to green, 7 to go, as we just scored 1 in this heat race number 9. And Pio with a pretty big jump on the start. We'll see if it holds, and it looks like it will.
Hagopian to the infield.
Oh, man. So Quentin will retire from this heat race as we continue to go under the green flag. Change of position there in 2nd. Brody Caldwell surrendering the 2nd spot to the 22 of Dalton Clary. So Clary up to 2nd, Caldwell back to 3rd. Then it's Little Daniel and Caden Graham. As you continue to watch your leader, Gage Pio. Saw Gunnar Pio earlier in the A class, trying to add his name as a heat race winner at the Tulsa Shootout. Will be 2 laps next time by, as you take a look at that 57 of Caden Graham trying to get back to JT Daniel. But it's all Gage Pio at the front. 1.5 second gap the last time by. We'll see what it is here at the white flag.
One more time around for Gage Pio. Lead definitely not shrinking, only increasing. Gage Pio in the 5G takes the checkered flag. Dalton Clary hang on for 2nd over Hudson Little, Brody Caldwell, JT Daniel. That's, I believe, one of the first Hyper Junior Sprints. I believe there's only 2 or 3 of those out there. And I think congratulations to Hyper, because you just got your first Junior Sprint heat race win. Tulsa Shootout. Send it up to Chris Moore.
Thank you, Connor. Here with Grayson Cooksey. Dad's been coaching him. Grayson, you started 3rd. What were you able to do to take the lead away there?
Just stay on the bottom and not try to hit the boom.
And who do you want to thank for helping you get here?
SOD Engines, Bulk Solutions, M&W Electrical, and Driven and Holly.
All right, there you go, guys. I think he did all right. Grayson Cooksey, junior sprint heat race winner.
Nice job, Grayson. As our 10th heat race out on the racetrack right now for the junior sprints. Braden Jewett, Race Reed is your front row. Zane Smith and Braxton Stewart will make up row number 2. Cole Jones, Coleman. It's a tongue twister. Giovanni Lucito and Mike and Iverson, who came close to winning last year. Tulsa Shootout, got a top 5 finish. Round out your field as we're underway here in heat race number 10.
Iverson may have been the one last year that asked for the chicken nuggets after running 3rd.
I think that's right. Somebody tweeted me. I'll double check while we get going here.
So while we check the phones, Braden Jewett has gotten himself a pretty good lead. All right, so Mikan will hold you to maybe another chicken nugget if you can get up toward the front. Zane Smith, no, not the former Craftsman Truck Series champion. Making his way up inside the top 3 now to 3rd. Race Reed in 4th. Mike and Iverson now quickly to 5th after starting in the final row.
A little bit of beating and banging going on here in the back, but a benefit to, I think, Cohen Coleman in the 40C. He was able to get all the way up to the 4th position. Iverson on his tail. Sorry, Chris.
No, I was just going to say Iverson was making quick work of a couple of those drivers, and now with a little bit of a mistake from Coleman, Iverson will take over 4th. He's got one of the quickest cars out on the racetrack.
Going to get a yellow.
Caution right as Coleman was driving it in deep. Do we have a car stopped somewhere?
Oh, we got some debris, and we got muffler head.
Muffler.
Yeah, you don't want to touch that, Terry. Just go ahead and give it a good old kick.
Yeah, because those Hey Dudes are going to protect him pretty good there.
It's the shoe of choice for Terry Maddox, the old Hey Dudes.
Oh my gosh, flagging and Hey Dudes, holy cow.
Terry
Maddox
and he tells me his back hurts, so I kind of want to be like, well, there you go.
Yeah.
On clouds, Terry, on clouds.
I've got my on clouds on. Heck, anything except Hey Dudes.
Tyler Carpenter.
So we're going to move it back to 4 to go. Still Braden Jewett, Braxton Stewart, Zane Smith, and now Mike and Iverson to 4th. And so Iverson again started back there in the 8th spot.
If you notice at the bottom of your screen, you'll see a ticker flashing some results from various races throughout the day for each of the divisions that have been in action. So if you've missed some stuff, well, hopefully that helps you catch up. Of course, complete official results available on the Tulsa Shootout website and the My Race Pass app. Braden Jewett brings us back to green. Braxton Stewart, early in the race, I think it was lap 1 or 2, was able to move by, I think it was Race Reed at the time for 2nd. Zane Smith in that 14Z holding down the 3rd position right now. Jewett pulls away a little bit. Stewart still in the picture, has Smith right on his tail, and Iverson shortly behind them. Cohen Coleman rounds out the top 5. 0.493 seconds, almost half of a full second at the line the last time the interval between Jewett and Stewart. White flag in the air one more time around for Braden Jewett. In the 14B, he comes from Paradise Valley, Arizona. Started on the pole. He's going to lead all 8 circuits of race 130 and get a junior sprint heat race win. That'll leave us with 5 junior sprint heat races left on the night. 10 in the books already. Jewett, Stewart, Smith, Iverson, Reed, Coleman, Lucido, and Jones, the unofficial finishing order. It's tossed to the top of the ramp, Brian Ward.
Connor, I've got Gage Pio, the driver out of Pennsylvania, coming down for his first Tulsa Shootout and another heat race win for a Shootout rookie. Tell me what was going through your head when you took the white flag and only had one more lap to get a win here.
I was thinking that, am I going to get passed or am I going to not get passed?
You had a really big lead there. You pulled away from them. Tell me how that car felt.
It felt great, and it pulled off the corner.
Well, that's good to hear. Is there anyone you need to thank?
I need to thank Hyper, Mr. Carver, and Mike Dicely.
There you go. Some of the best putting this car in victory lane.
Thank you, Brian. Good look at the Rod End Supplies speed shot as our next heat race is out on the racetrack. Hey, shout out to Ashley Allenson Photography. She tweeted at us saying she's been here since 9 a.m. Appreciate it. That is a absolute trooper. Saw Maria Kofer checking in, Johnny Petrozzel.
Junior flaggers here.
Hey,
Notice the last race, I felt like they had not taken a break for a while either. And every flag, they're matching Terry Maddox.
and this time we're flagging in Crocs. So we've got Crocs
Yeah.
and Hey Dudes. As trouble here for this next heat race getting going. That's because the 36J of JJ Beeson.
36D, I believe.
36D.
Dakota Warhurst. Let's give you the lineup real quick for this one. Axton Larson, Jagger Wids on the front row. Manuel Zayas and Tanner Thompson going to be in row 2. Caden Pacheco and JJ Beeson row 3. Warhurst was scheduled to roll off 7th, but looks like we'll be left with 6th. That is JJ Beeson, Chris, on track. Jonathan Beeson's son outside row 3. I think another reason why Jonathan Beeson didn't race as much in 2023 was at Port every week with JJ and a junior.
Jagger Wiggs, 6th place last year in the Junior Sprint A main.
Of course, his brother Jackson also in attendance.
And that's a very interesting start. But hey, JJ Beeson was paying attention.
6-1. We'll see if it stands. He was on his toes. His dad taught him good.
The green light's still on. JJ.
Witt's gonna stand. JJ Beeson with one of the most impressive junior sprint starts probably ever. Jagger Wiggs runs in 2nd.
Oh, the caution flag
Oh,
away.
there
We
it
do have
is.
one stopped on the top of the racetrack, though. So
3K.
that's not it. That's for Caden Pacheco.
See if they score that lap.
It says 7 on our ticker, and it looks like there's a 1 on the in-house scoreboard. So
As of now, it looks like that lap is gonna count, which would be huge for JJ Beeson.
Yeah.
well, while we have this quick break and we get Pacheco pushed back off onto the racetrack, Chris Moore's at the top of the ramp with the CSI Heat Race interview.
Yeah, thank you, Chris. Got Braden Jewett here. First time at the Tulsa Shootout. Been the year of the rookies for the junior sprints. Braden, you've won before. How cool would it be to win a Golden Driller now?
It would be my dream.
How'd you feel out there?
I felt good.
Well, keep feeling good through the rest of the week, buddy. Go get one.
Thank you.
All right, there you go, guys. Braden Jewett, a rookie here at the Tulsa Shootout, but no rookie to victory lane with the junior sprints.
A man, a few words. And
Chris-
hey, there's Jonathan Beeson. Got Harley Holland down there as well.
Chris Moore's got to get down on his knees to interview these guys. You could just stand there.
Yeah, I'm telling you. So, hey, I got news for you. Some of these
Somebody-
kids are taller than me. I'm 31 years old. That's all right.
You looked really tall yesterday in the Open, I thought.
Oh, you didn't
Yeah.
see what I was standing on. I had a nice big old box. Yeah, I know. Throw me under the bus there. That's all right. You know what? Connor, I teed you up for so many short jokes, it's bound to happen. So
I've been a lot nicer to you this year than I think I
You
was
have.
last year about the short jumps.
I appreciate it. Back to live action. JJ Beeson back under the green flag. This time Jagger Wiggs able to keep pace and close in just a little bit. So a battle of potential A main starters. A little bit farther back, 17Z of Manuel Zayas trying to track down the 21 of Tanner Thompson for 3rd. And that's the gap between your top 2 and then 3rd and 4th. So these two need to work together if they're going to catch back up. But right now, Jagger Wiggs is starting to figure out a way to get around JJ Beeson at the halfway point of this one.
Jagger doing a good job of hanging with him. Reed's been really, really smooth down around the bottom. 3 to go.
Jagger Wiggs has been quicker, especially the last time by. Not by much, but able to slowly get there. Now the question is, can he find a lane underneath? You're not going to go around the outside in these junior sprints.
I think he's just getting stuck in all that dirty air off the top wing. Just get up behind him and you get tight in that dirty air.
White flag in the air, so one more time around for J.J. Beeson. Jonathan Beeson anxiously awaiting his driver as he comes by him down the back straightaway. Through turns 3 and 4. Can he go 6-1? He can. J.J. Beeson holding off Jagger Wiggs. And Tanner Thompson for the win. Zayas Larson, Warhurst, and Pacheco round out the 7-car field. So J.J. could be new high point man here for the junior sprints.
Still thinking about that start he made.
Yeah.
Going 6-1, going into turn 1.
Next heat race out on the racetrack. This is heat race number 12. Riker Jones out of Sand Springs, Oklahoma, and Braxton Flatt, Chad Boat's pick for a driller out of Monmouth, Illinois, starting on your front row. Lane White, Nash Edwards make up row number 2. Corbin Weekly and Lathan Knott in row 3. And your 7th final starter, Eli Potter, will make up your field. Quick shout out to Stephanie Matthews and her 2 boys out there in California, tuning us in on Flow Racing. Ryder got his first ever kart win at Cycleland back in November. Braxton out there racing as well. I bought my first quarter midget from her and her dad, the late Bill Tuttle. So thanks for tuning us in. As we go under the green flag, and Braxton Flatt quickly challenged by the 22 of Riker Jones, and Jones not giving up on the bottom will take over the lead. Crossover move for Braxton Flatt.
That was a really good move by Braxton Flatt there to kind of sucker the 22 car to drive it in deep and then turn underneath him.
Got to watch Braxton a couple times this year. This kid, really good. Chad Boat said he is might be the strongest competitor in the entire CB Industries camp. He had a big win during the KKM Challenge in Texas. Probably top 3 junior sprint drivers in the country in 2023. He and the CB team really found their groove. So not a surprise to see Braxton having a good run here at the shootout.
14th last year in the junior sprint A main event. Looking to improve in 2024. As you take a look at the rest of the field, flashing by turns 1 and 2, the 92 out there making laps around the speedway. Lathan Knott, as Flatt has already opened up a full straightaway lead on pole sitter Riker Jones. Lathan Knott trying to hold off the 10E of Eli Potter there for 3rd, and Potter not giving up, right up on the tail tank. And it's a square tail tank on the 92.
Wants to be just like the Swindells.
Yeah, that trend started here many years
ago.
ago.
Kind of become iconic with this building, right?
Yeah, I mean, if you think about it, when did that start? 2012? Maybe a little bit before.
Before that.
But checkered flag, though, is out for your race winner, Braxton Flatt. So living up to the hype that Chad Boat, his car owner, had placed on him earlier this week. Takes home and heat race winner Riker Jones, Lathan Knott, and Eli Potter. So while they head back up the ramp, we will too. And go visit with Brian Ward.
Chris, I'm standing here with J.J. Beeson. 6-1 on that run. They kind of stacked him up on the start, and you just snuck on through. Tell me what you were thinking when that green flag waved.
Yeah, I got up to the lead. When that caution came out, I thought they were going to put me back. But other than that, the car felt really good. And it's a really good race. The bottom's really good. And I just had to hit my marks and keep it down there. I was watching the screen a little bit to see if how far Wiggs was behind me, and he wasn't that far, but that was a good race.
He got right to your tail, and you held him off that last lap.
Yeah.
Now you get to go give some driving tips to Dad, huh?
Yeah.
All right, go celebrate J.J. Beeson, a heat race winner at the Tulsa Shootout.
Awesome job. That'll be a happy Beeson clan. So who says when we say Beeson season, it's just for Jonathan? JJ making a name for himself. All right, our next heat race out on the racetrack, heat race 13, Gary Shelton, or Gentry Shelton, Luke Boer, DJ Beach, Landon Ganson, Isabella Landis, and we already have trouble, so we'll give you the lineup here in a minute. That is the 2 of Luke Boer out of Rogers, Arkansas, getting collected there with the 99 of Gentry Shelton. So your front row.
Yep.
Having some problems.
So, it appears via Twitter, there is indeed a Chris Wellner fan club t-shirt.
I can't believe that.
There's a photo of it too.
Oh, I'm looking at it now. I mean, at least they picked a decent picture. I appreciate it. You could have done some digging on Facebook and something, but.
Just got a text from Brad Warner that, of course, Flying Game Motorsports is sponsoring the Junior Sprint Division here at the Tulsa Shootout. Flying Game Motorsports is going to give the winner of the Junior Sprint A-Main Sunday night a brand new Burromax TT 750R. So a brand new Burromax pit bike going to the winner of the Junior Sprint A-Main Sunday night. Cool contribution, Brad. Appreciate your support of the Junior Sprint Division here at the Tulsa Shootout this year. Got myself a Burromax from Flying Gate a couple weeks ago.
Did you?
I won it in a raffle.
Okay, congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah, really cool. I've been rode it to the town square and rode it all around Marion. Rode it 5 miles away to the sports complex. Been ripping on that thing. Did you find out anything more about the fan club T-shirt?
I said it was awesome. I need to ask him if there's extra because I'm only.
You want one for yourself?
No, I know if my wife is listening, she will be demanding for one of those shirts, even though I beg her not to. So we'll see what happens, but that's awesome. I appreciate it.
Thanks. We have an interview with Braxton Flatt waiting for us at the top of the ramp.
Chris, first of all, I'll wear one. Braxton Flatt, buddy, 2 for 2 now. Your restrictor heat win, now a junior sprint heat one. Was it easier in the junior sprint after getting to run the restrictor earlier?
Yeah, it was easier. It was easier to get to the bottom too. So.
Tell me about that pass for the lead. You made a good setup there and cross over to take the top spot.
Well, before the race, my dad told me if I can't get him on the start, at some point, I could pass him if I take my time. So I took my time and I figured out a way to pass him.
All right, guys, there you go.
2 for 2 for Braxton Flatt as we're back under the green flag here in heat race number 13. DJ Beach in the 11 able to take home the point after the front row calamity that brought out our first caution. So it's Beach leading the 7G of Landon Ganson. And you look a little farther back, we're looking at the 38 car of Isabella Landis. And the rest of the field, the 2 of Luke Boer, who was caught up in that first wreck start on the front row. He's still in contact with the 99G of Gentry Shelton. Both those drivers sat on the front row and
haven't been able to get away from each other.
No, they have not. And we'll see if Shelton has anything for Boer while Beach and Ganson run away from Holder in the 7X, holding on to that 3rd spot. And this duo also bringing in another player to the mix, the 51 of Case Martin.
Boer going to pull off in the 2, so he is out of this race. Was riding in 4th. Gentry Shelton will inherit that spot. As there's DJ Beach up front in the 11B. Prairie Home, Missouri is where he hangs his hat. White flag in the air. DJ Beach a lap away. Lead of nearly a second last time at the line. Cruises into turn 3 and out of turn number 4, and race 133 of the Tulsa Shootout goes to DJ Beach. Saw a little fist pump there coming to the checkered, as he'll be followed by Jansen, Holder, Shelton, Martin, Boer, and Landis unofficially. Being told the chain popped off the 2 of Luke Boer. Thank you, Tiffany. Back in the Flow Racing production truck, along with our great production crew. Tyler McKim is back there as well. Kane Runyon, Several guys back there. We'll have to pull up the list. I'm
And
missing a
gals,
bunch.
we've got
Yep,
Tiffany,
girl,
who
that's
we've
right.
been trying to
I
beg to
said her
stay.
first.
We've been trying to beg her to stay.
She's a Fender girl.
Going to be headed over to Vado Speedway and offered her services for the first part of this week. Tiffany, I know you're listening. Please stay. You've been
We
doing such a great job.
appreciate you being here, though.
Yes.
You and Robbie both.
Oh, yes. You guys are awesome. And warm wishes to Dan Parisi. He was scheduled to be our producer as well, battling a little bit of an illness. We hopefully will have him for the Chili Bowl.
Yeah, still weird not having Dan in the...
What did you call him? Dan, the producer man?
Caleb called him that, I think.
Caleb,
yeah.
okay.
Dan, the producer man. Race 134 has a couple of names in it. One of them you're definitely going to recognize. Casey Pittman on the pole of this one in 37K. Chase Button to the outside in 141. Row 2, Brexton Bush in 18B. Brody Stewart in 27. Row 3, Braxton Vasconcelos in 13V. And the 16B of Noah Britton. Cruz Parson in the 6 rounds out starting field. Brexton Bush in 18B. He's going to start in 3rd. Obviously, he's Kyle Busch's kid, but Brexton, a very, very good race car driver for how young he is. I got to see him at Sweet Springs, win a feature there in September. And, I mean, always been good in a junior sprint, but really, in my opinion, this year took some major, major strides.
He really did. And, I mean, it speaks to the development that I know Kyle would like for Brexton to be kind of a well-rounded racer. And we've seen him run Bandoleros already as well, so some pavement experience. But getting the jump up to a restricted micro at the end of this past outdoor season was huge. And he went out and won at Millbridge. I interviewed him after his first Millbridge win, and it was a walk in the park to him. Now, granted, we didn't have quite the car count that night for the restricteds, but I think that gave Brexton a ton of confidence in this building. And he did a great job earlier in the restricted heat race. And now back to the junior sprint that he has experience here. Wants to lock into an A-main. He said there's nothing like the Tulsa Shootout, and he's trying to make his dream come true and get a golden driller. And right now, off the initial start, as we go back under green flag, he's going to take 2 and take over the 2nd spot. So Brexton Bush on the move.
Brexton, it's his 3rd shootout, first doing double duty between junior sprint and restrictor. Braxton Vasconcelos also in the field has been good in the junior sprint division on the West Coast the last couple of years.
He finished 4th last year.
Yeah, coming off a 4th place finish in last year's event. So he's always really strong.
Chase Button, though, has company with Brexton Bush.
Yep.
Brexton Bush has been the fastest on the racetrack and quickly going to pull to the inside of turn 1 and 2 using the berm, washing Chase up the racetrack, and Brexton Bush has got himself the race lead. What a move. And Brexton's just going to try to run away and hide. Brody Stewart up to that 3rd position, moving Braxton Vasconcelos back to 4th. And Brexton, we saw on Twitter, Kyle was doing his graphics on his race car.
Yeah.
Because Kyle said that his first job was in graphics before he even became the Kyle Busch we know today.
Well, ever since Kyle started running micros and Brexton started running the juniors, Kyle's been very, very hands-on, working on both types of cars, learning the open wheel phenomenons. Brexton pulling away. Lap of 12.889 the last time by. That's the quickest in this race.
And the white flag is out for Brexton, who again, what a season between the junior sprint, running some bandoleros, restricted micros, and he's got himself a Tulsa Shootout heat race win by 1.6 seconds over Chase Button, Brody Stewart, Braxton Vasconcelos, Noah Britton, Cruz Parson, and Casey Pittman. So Brex is going to visit the top of the ramp here momentarily, and I'm sure he'll have a big smile on his face. He says every year he comes here, he has to stand on the big toe of the giant golden driller statue outside. Let's go to Brian Ward back at the top of the ramp.
Thank you, Chris. Standing up here with DJ Beach. You picked up that win. Tell me what the track felt like.
It was really rough, but I was just able to get it around the bottom smoothly, able to get out of the corner fast.
You come up here and you got a lot of people celebrating with you. You come down from Missouri. Tell me what the trip means to you.
It means a lot to me. This is my first ever time here racing, and I really want to thank my mom, my dad, most of my sponsors, and yeah.
I think he means he thanks all of his sponsors. Guys, back to you.
Thank you, Brian, as our, 14th of 15 heat races. So getting ready to wrap up our Flying A Motorsports Junior Sprints. Or excuse me, this is the 15th, my apologies. So our final heat race, Miles Bartley, Carson Brazel, Teague Schaefer, Callie Woodrow, Bo Cheatham, Caden Anderson, and Riker Toops, excuse me, are in this final heat race as we go under the yellow flag. Not the start we were looking for. Don't forget, coming up, our final 2 sessions, I guess if you want to call them. It's the RS12 Motorsports Outlaw Wing Division, but we will have D and C mains. So
crazy to think day 2, we're already going to start eliminating guys.
Yeah, the schedule certainly shuffled a little bit than maybe years past where we didn't get to eliminations to maybe full day number 2, day kind of 3. But with the car counts, again, record, both entries accepted and then entries signed in, both hitting new shootout records this year. And of course, the way the schedule fell with Christmas kind of really had to pack things in. And so, yes, we will have some eliminations to finish up this Thursday night at the 39th Annual American Waste Control Tulsa Shootout, presented by NOS Energy Drink. And don't forget, thanks to Hyper Racing being a part of our broadcast as well. So a Hoosier and an Okie on the front row.
Eight laps the distance. So once Junior Sprint heat races are complete, we will have all but one division that have completed their heat races. The lone division, stock non-wing, their heat races, I believe over 40 of them, will be tomorrow morning. It's going to be a lot of fun. That will kick off our coverage. Good start for Miles Bartley in that 29M, and a 3, make it a 4-car battle for second. That'll be led by the 18S of Bo Cheatham, followed by Ty Schaefer, Riker Troops, Caden Anderson, Carson Brazel fell to 6th, and then Callie Woodrow rides in 7th. Three cars on the screen right there. That is Schaefer, or I should say Troops, Anderson, and Brazel. Anderson by Troops in the 55K. Now to the inside of Schaefer, and Troops